Hi students, this is the last video of first unit and also last topic of this first unit in Factories Act, that is maintenance of registers. Any occupier or manager in a factory has to maintain these are all the records in the form of registers. First one is muster roll. This is muster roll, generally the term which is being used in any factory. That what this actual meaning is, every worker should be maintained, that is database, general terms what we call it as database, that has to be maintained as muster roll. Each and every detail has to be registered and it should be maintained as a muster roll. If you check with the muster roll, any inspector is coming and checking with the registers of employees, the heading of temporary or permanent or whatever the categories, they have to check with this muster roll. They will check with this muster roll. That is what that purpose. Any details if they want to check means, first of all, the checking will start with this muster roll only. Why? Because properly appointed person has to be registered in the muster roll. Then register of adult workers, that is a separate register has to be maintained for the adult workers who are all above age of 18 years. Then register of leave with wages. As I said, in annual leave wages, separate register has to be maintained. How much leave they have been availed for that particular year, how much wages they have been sanctioned, all these things has to be maintained as the register of leave with wages. And then inspection book. Inspection book means whenever an inspector is checking with his duties, a book has to be maintained and it has to be noted with all the areas which an inspector is being inspected. Those details has to be there in that book, and accidents or dangerous occurrences also should be registered in that register in the form of accidents or dangerous occurrences. Any accident related to that factory has to be maintained as a register. And then overtime exemption register. Who are all exempted from overtime? Overtime related things which has to be maintained as a register in the factory. Health registered, regarding health related aspects, a register has to be maintained by the occupier with regard to workers. Any checkups or anything related to be or done by the workers means that has to be maintained as health register. Other things has to be maintained in the factories. Display of notices. As I said, in working conditions itself, periods of work has to be given as a notice in the wherever the place they are going with the notice of periods of work. And an abstract of the act and rules has also should be displayed in the factory premises. Cautionary notices regarding with any special care or thing has to be maintained whoever crossing with that cautionary places means it has to be given a notice. Safety posters related to the workplace where worker also has to maintain that with regard to safety posters. For example, you may come across different hoardings like safety, that is, you should not go to that particular place, or no, caution, it is very powerful, or voltage of that particular machine is high. All these things which we say it as cautionary or safety posters. To avoid any accident, this type of cautionary and safety posters has to be maintained within the factory. And compulsorily a name of the inspector and certifying surgeon has to be mentioned as boards in the form of displays. Why? Because if you come across with any chance of going with a factory, you can check with that name of the inspector or name of the certifying surgeon. These names has to be displayed within the premises of the this is the knowledge to the outsider to know about who are all under that control of that particular factory, that is as an inspector, as a surgeon. Then other one important thing which has to be maintained by the occupier or the manager is they has to submit their annual returns, half-yearly returns, accident reports every year or half-yearly ones has to be done properly by these two people. Then here a list has been given regarding the dangerous manufacturing processes. These are all the processes which they are saying dangerous manufacturing process. In other terms, we can say it as hazardous process, like gas manufacturing or any metal articles they are manufacturing, or petrol gas from petrol. All these things can be, and that is whatever the list is being given. These are all dangerous manufacturing process according to Factories Act. If this dangerous manufacturing process any person is being appointed in a like adult means, special care is being required to go with that option. Then again in this chapter, rights of the worker has been given as special chapter in this Factories Act. That is, what are all the rights a worker is having under Factories Act. That is, information relating to health and safety has to be given by the occupier. He has to get proper training, which has to be given by the occupier with proper training center, or training related to safety, health and welfare has to be approved by the chief inspector. These are all the things as a right which a worker is going to get, and what obligations a worker will have regarding the factory is no worker in a factory willfully should not misuse the appliances or conveyance regarding to factory, and also he should be securing the health and safety of the workers within the factory, and willfully and without reasonable cause do anything like endanger himself to others. Like this is an obligation by the occupiers from the workers, which has to be maintained in the factory premises. You should not go with any controversy which has been said according to the provisions of Factories Act. And if he is controversing with these following provisions or any sections means, he shall be punishable with imprisonment for a term which may extend to that this imprisonment and amount has been updated according to the year wise. Based on Amendments Acts, we are come acrossing with different changes with this amount also. If any of the provisions or sections has been controversied by the worker means, it will be maintained as a punishment. Then generally what type of penalties is being given to that means, no minimum fine is fixed for any of the cases. Maximum fine fixed to 1 lakh or 2 years of imprisonment. In case of accident with contravening or notice from the chapter 4 means 25,000 of minimum. That is actually any controversy regarding any of the chapters or sections, if it is done by the occupier or the worker or the manager means, these penalties will be imposed. In case of serious accident means 5,000. Any controversy of the chapters which is being given in Factories Act means, according to that it will punishment or amount of fine will be imposed. This is what about the Factories Act. Till now we have come across with all the chapters in Factories Act. Just try to understand the important sections or chapters in Factories Act is particular to health, safety, welfare, and also working conditions, and annual leave wages. That is, to remember that numbers only, I am also including annual leave wages. Otherwise, health, safety, welfare is the most important topics which is been considered as main topics in the Factories Act. By this, we are coming to the end of first unit. In my next video, I will continue with the second unit.